I've got just £250, which in today's car market can get you a bicycle, but instead, I've got this. Now I've got a plan. We're gonna try and fix it, clean it up, and sell it for a profit. The only problem is, I've only got 24 hours to do it. Now that might be a bit of a bigger challenge than I first thought. Now let me give you a quick tour of Agnes. I've called her Agnes. She drips quite a lot, much like Agnes's do. So obviously immediately you've got bumpers hanging off. Now as an old person who clearly owns this, it's only done 40,000 miles, so it's almost new, but it's had a really hard life. So obviously one of the biggest things it needs is a proper deep clean if you want to show that it's been loved, which it clearly hasn't. Amongst that, really what you need to do first is get it mechanically in order because it is ruined. The list is a big one. We've got all sorts. We go everything from it needs a new battery, doesn't start, doesn't crank, we haven't got it running, stinks of fuel, there's a fuel leak coming from somewhere, something isn't right there. All of the trim's missing or hanging off, the front end's not good. This is a good feature, I really like this feature. So most people have a button on the dash to adjust their headlight beam angle, but what Agnes has is manually adjusting lights. So we can sort of just go a little bit lower, we can go lower. If it's a little bit higher, we can do that. I didn't realise it was this bad when we first got this, and now we've got to try and make it better, like that. Okay, so clearly I'm not competent enough to do this by myself, so I've enlisted mechanic Ollie, who really likes the car.
Yeah.
Right, so we see if it cranks or does anything. I know it's been sitting for a while, the battery is going to be flat as anything. That's okay, let's just see what it does.
It's got a bit of power.
It's kind of cranking. Right, so I'm really glad I bought a new battery because it's cranking fine, but you reckon it's not getting any fuel?
It's not even trying to start, it's not even sparking, it's not spluttering, nothing. Now, I highly doubt every single cylinder is not firing if it was the coil pack. So I reckon it's probably fuel related, which we can just pull one of the fuel pipes off, the feed pipe, and see if we have any fuel coming out.
So we want fuel to come out of this and just straight all over the engine?
Yeah, that's what we want ideally.
Oh, okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Is there anything?
No. So we're not getting fuel, which is a good start.
Well, I think that's probably the first place to start is make sure fuel's getting to the fuel rail. Now we're going to test the fuel pump. So the fuel...
Yeah, it does do that. Sorry, just ignore, yep. Hang on, let me just, okay, no, hang on, let me just, okay. No, there's quite a lot of egg happening. We need to clean this for, we really should have worked it, but never mind. Oh, hey. We've got slight door lock issues. After fighting my way through the door, we had a look to see why the fuel pump wasn't getting power. So firstly, we checked the wiring heading into the fuel tank, and that was working. So we dismantled the fuel pump and made sure to spill fuel everywhere. We're gonna...
Might be worth grabbing a towel so I can put it underneath.
Yeah, I've definitely got one of those, that's good.
Just open the door and I'll go running out.
Go, 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 go.
Don't want it on the path.
So the next step was to check the continuity and make sure the wires hadn't broken down between the top of the fuel pump housing and the fuel pump itself. And that's where we found the bad connection as the pins were ruined. We quickly tested the pump with a backup battery and that all worked. Ollie spent some time cleaning the oxidized connections and then plugged everything back in to hopefully fix our issue.
So if you listen very quietly...
Oh, we're listening for...
And let's just have fingers crossed. Is it really not priming?
It's not priming.
Next stage is... So I'm going to do something now, which don't try at home.
So after Ollie absolutely didn't wire the fuel pump into the rear fog light harness, he topped it up with fuel, and then...
Right, are we ready? The Bod's car...
Have you put the fog light on?
Oh, yeah.
You need your headlights as well.
Fog light edition, Hyundai Mica.
Go on. It'll take a while. It will take a while because it's got to prime the fuel pump.
Oh, the battery! Welcome back to Chin Cam. This isn't going particularly well. Stop bonging at me!
So with the fuel pump now bodged and Ollie's jump pack on, we went for the first start.
I can hear the fuel pump. Right, here we go. Oh!
Oh, yes!
Yes! Yes! That is definitely, it's definitely misfiring, isn't it? It sounds, you can hear that rattle.
I wouldn't leave it running much longer with it misfiring.
Oh, yeah, we need to turn this off. Right, so you've now got a flashing engine warning light on a dash, and it's also misfiring, so it's not going well. But if you're struggling with engine warning lights like us, then this week's sponsor, Carly, can help.
Carly gives you full control by jumping into your vehicle's diagnostics and giving you a complete overhaul of its health.
Let's see what's going on with this BMW. It seems lovely. Oh no, it's okay, it's just the washer fluid. Oh gosh. Right, first I'm going to connect Carly to the OBD port, and then I'm going to connect to the Carly app.
Once synced up, Carly reads through all of your car's data and any fault codes that may be affecting your vehicle, and suddenly this great looking BMW didn't look so good.
Oh no! Right, 36 issues on this car. The vehicle status is bad. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to clear the codes, and the ones that come back, I'm going to use Carly's awesome feature, the Smart Mechanic. And what that's going to do is tell me exactly how serious these codes are and how to fix them. Right, so let's have a quick look and see what Carly's telling me. So air conditioning is not looking good. 5 issues there. Engine, that's really not good. ABS, there's a lot of problems here. It's just all broken. This is the really cool bit though. If I click on any one of these, for example, the air conditioning, it's going to bring up the Smart Mechanic feature, and that's going to tell me to be careful because I've got a description telling me exactly what's wrong with it, and that is so helpful on these modern cars ram-packed full of technology. So what I'm now doing is I'm clearing all these issues and hoping that most of them go away. There you go. So we're actually down to 12 issues now. We've cleared loads of codes just like that.
But that's not all you get with Carly, because I can also check the live engine data, the battery health, and there's another really clever feature.
Carly has a used car checker, meaning if you want to buy a used car, you can simply plug in the Carly device and run a used car check. It will be able to match up the data points with a VIN number, meaning if that car's been tampered with, you're going to know about it. Carly also supports advanced coding features, giving you access to features you probably didn't even know existed, like when the DRLs turn off. Lovely.
There's plenty of other features that work seamlessly on BMWs, Minis, VWs and Audis, letting you personalise your settings that dealers would charge a lot extra for. So if you want to take control of your car's diagnostics and access hidden features, try Carly now by using my 15% off link.
Right, so the next step, now you know we've got a misfire going, but the engine seems okay, is to figure out why we're misfiring. Ollie, why are you misfiring?
Currently, I don't have a clue why I'm misfiring, but to narrow it down, I am going to pull the HT leads off the spark plugs individually and see which one doesn't make a difference. So that's what we're going to do.
Right, spark plug time.
When you do this, be careful you don't get shot.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, that one very much worked. So we're on to cylinder 3 next.
So it's still running rough with that one off?
Yeah, it's running on 3 cylinders currently, which is what a misfire is when it's down on one hole or one cylinder. Could be the HT lead, it could be the spark plug, or it could be the coil. Looking at the state of the coil, I would guess it's probably that. So what we're going to do is take this one off and swap it with another HT lead and see if the leads make a difference.
Okay.
And then if not, we're going to swap spark plugs. But we're going to take number 4 HT lead and put it in number 3. And this will rule out whether it's a HT lead or a coil, because from that one, there was no clicking, which means there's no spark coming from it. I'm pretty certain it's more likely a HT lead or a coil, and I'm actually not going to bother with a spark plug. Right, go try and start her up now, and we're going to go straight to cylinder 3, because we know that one wasn't sparking earlier. No difference, and you put it near metal. No clicking, no sparking. We need to go get a coil pack, which is that guy there with all the HT leads connected to.
Right, now that Ollie's off to go get the part we need, I'm in charge of cleaning it because it's covered in egg and poo and all sorts. I've bodged the front bumper on, very, very temporary. Let's get it out and take it to a professional detailer to get it lovely and clean.
Unfortunately, I don't know a professional detailer, but instead I found this bloke called Dave. So I limped it out the unit for a quick wash, and in the daylight you could really see the state of this car. It was absolutely disgusting, and I generally think giving your car a clean if you are trying to sell it is worth its weight in gold. And even Dave was enthusiastic about it too. You can see my little Amica featuring on Dave's channel, there's a link down below, but after a quick snow foam, pressure wash and a little bit of TLC, Agnes the Amica was looking so much better.
Right, so amazingly, it's actually cleaned up pretty well. We've got the egg off, which is always a bonus. It's looking really smart, but now it's clean, I wanted to run you through some of the lovely features we can actually see. So if you're following me around here,
you'll see that this isn't great. So this is sort of a door piece of trim, which has obviously come off, but the old man who had this before has just screwed wood screws into the side of it to hold it back in place. And there's a lot more to tell me that an old person did own this. So if you'd like to follow me inside the motor vehicle, Agnes's husband had a field day with the duct tape. So most posh people in their Mercedes and BMWs, they have those sort of kick plates in the door shuts, which tell you that you've got a Mercedes or a BMW. Here, we have a roll of duct tape. I'm not sure what the goal was, but obviously to stop scuffs and scrapes on the glorious paintwork, they put some duct tape down and it's just tragic, but never mind. I think we're probably gonna leave that on. I don't wanna see what's underneath it, to be honest. Moving into the interior, we do have some amazing features, such as this compass that it came with. So that's really lovely. That's about it. No, we've got we've got air conditioning, doesn't work. We've got a radio in it, also doesn't work. Right, moving around to the back and some slightly dodgy interior stuff. I was having a little look in here earlier when we were doing the fuel pump. Ollie's ordered a new fuel pump, the housing for it, because our one is ruined. Hopefully that arrives today, otherwise we're in a bit of trouble. If it doesn't, it is what it is. I'm not selling a car with a dodgy fuel pump like that. It's just not happening. So we'll get that fixed properly. It will be in a later episode, or hopefully later on in this video. But for now, let's have a little look. The glorious things in here. Immediately, it's not looking good. Agnes, you've been up to some dodgy things. Okay. Should we give it a sniff? We'll go straight for the armpits this time. Okay, right, that's really good. Okay, moving quite swiftly on. This is more Agnesy of us. It's very old people. We've got a tea towel, which has been wrapped up in the wheel breaker thing. So that's brilliant. We've also got, see, this is good. This is what I was expecting in the boot. Just nice, easy breakdown triangles, things like that. But unfortunately, it doesn't end there. Oh no, oh no. What's this? Oh, oh no. There's a whole, they got the complete corpse in here. This is awful. But rather excitingly, I can see this is a brand new tire. I don't know how old it is, but we've got, wow. We've got a full-size spare. Not only that, it matches the original ones, and it already comes pre-curb, so you don't have to. Other than that, everything, oh no, everything is not okay. There's more soiled things. Are those pants? Right. I'm not convinced I really want to do any more interior digging. So what we'll do is we'll fix all the rest of the exterior bits, get all the trims sort of trimmed back together, and hopefully Ollie will be back soon, and we can get the engine to not misfire. Fantastic. Ollie's back. So this is the bit we need to make the car do working.
Well, we tested everything and it very much points to this, and there's not really anything else it can be, so it's going to be this.
Lovely. Let's get it on the car.
Let's fit it.
So apparently this car was off the road for a very long time. Oh dear. Probably because it was broken. And then it got fixed up by a dodgy guy who put it through a dodgy MOT, and now we've got it, which is worrying. Ollie got to work switching out the old broken coil pack with our fresh new one, and then... Okay, it's the big moment now. We're going to try and turn the key and hope that we've got 4 cylinders again, which will be really nice. Right, I've turned the fog light on, so it should turn on now. Okay, I've turned that off immediately. What was that?
What did you do?
Turned it on. What the hell was that?
Why have you made it even worse? Are you sure the
yeah, it was on. It was running. It was just misfiring like a We've somehow managed to make it worse.
Yeah, go try again.
Okay. Is it alright?
Fine.
What was that? Okay.
Because you had the fuel pump on, it had too much fuel to start off with.
It seems okay, doesn't it?
Seems fine. You can hear it ticking now next to that. Now hold on. Go turn it off a second.
It's
sparking across this.
It's what?
It's sparking. It was sparking from this boot to that screw.
What? Oh, turn it off, turn it off.
Doing it.
Turn it off, yeah. Wow, it's sparking through it. Oh, that's like really bad. How has it managed that? What? So it's sparking through the rubber boot and then grounding out on a screw?
Yeah, on the screw of the new coil.
So it's safe to say I've brought a quality part. Right, attempt 487,000 of trying to get the car to start. It's not sparking.
No.
It's
better than it was. So we now know the fuel pump is fine, which is great news. So the new housing's coming. It now starts, runs, it's cleaner, and the trim isn't, I need to the trim. The trim isn't trimmed.
Ollie got on with fitting the wonky bumper, and that gave me time to tidy up the car as well.
Right, well, Ollie does that. I'm going to take off whatever this is, some sort of old people soldering. I don't know what happened here. Maybe there was like a light or something weird, but I don't know. There's just this weird rusty L bracket, so I'll try and take that off. Oh, actually, it was quite easy, although it's going to leave a rusty mark underneath, but I still think it's better than the piece of broken metal on the front. Oh, good, that's brown. If you have any idea what this could have been, please let me know in the comments below. Other than a small L-shaped bracket of tetanus.
We carried on into the evening, tidying up the car. Well, attempting to.
This one hasn't even got clips in it. How am I going to fix that? No, this is not what I was... That's not a fix.
Here we go.
How am I going to sell it like that?
Make sure you're subscribed so you can join us next time where we finish off fixing Agnes and seeing how much money we can make from our £250 car.